The rainforest is located near the equator, which result in warm climates. The trees are mostly straight and around 100 feet tall. The average precipitation of rainforest is around 160 to 400 inches of rainfall yearly. The climate of rainforest is usually hot and wet. The average temperature of a tropical rainforest are about 80 degrees Fahrenheit all year round, with an exception of cool nights. The temperature of the rainforest have never dropped below 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The following diagram is the worldwide latitude distribution of rainforests of the world. The soil condition of rainforests is shallow, poor, malnutrition due to heavy rainfalls. There are 4 zonation layers. Zonation is the classification of biomes into zones, based on the circulation or grouping in a habitat as influenced by environment factors, such as altitude, latitude, temperature, and other biotic factors. In the emergent layers, only a few trees break through the canopy layers in the emergent layers. These trees are as tall as skyscrapers. They have very thin trunks. They endure high temperature, low humidity, and enjoy a great amount of sunlight. The animals from these layers are harpy eagles, lovebirds, and blue doctor butterfly. In the canopy layer, the trees are around 60 to 90 feet above the ground. The branches are mostly covered with other plants and tied together with vines. It is home for 90% of the organisms found in a rainforest. It shields the ground from sunlight and the rain. The animals from the canopy layer are sloth, toucan, and spider monkey. The understory layers are layered between the canopy and the ground floor. The leaves of trees and plants are broad in order for them to capture as much light as possible. Very dark and humid. It has a large amount of insect life. Animals of understory layers are leopard, fruit bats, and tree frogs. And lastly, the forest ground. This layer receives less than 2% of sunlight. Only specialized, adapted plants are able to grow and survive. The warm and humid conditions within this layer help grow fungi. Animals from this layer include anaconda, army ants, and jaguar. The abiotic factors that affect the plants and animals that live in the rainforest are water, soil, sunlight, rainfall, and temperature. The rainforest is usually located near the equator, which results in a lot of sunlight. However, because of abundance of animals, sunlight is needed for survival. Plants depend directly on sunlight and soil nutrition. These are examples of consumers and producers in the rainforest biome. The tertiary consumers are python and jaguar. Examples of secondary consumers are vampire bats and frogs. And primary consumers are monkeys, fruit bats, and grasshoppers. And for producers, there are orchids, banana trees, bamboo trees, and coconut trees. The graph shows predator and prey relationship. Predation is a natural process which occurs in every biome on Earth. This process results in limiting of the biotic features of the ecosystem. The following graph is about Brazilian nut tree and toucan. Without the toucan, the Brazilian nut tree would grow without limit and take sources away from other species. This could result in overpopulation and endangered species. There are other types of common predator and prey relationships. For example, mutualism. Leafcutter ants and fungus have this type of relationship. The two species benefit from one another. The ants protects the fungi from pest and mold. The fungi protects the ant's larva. Another type is commensalism. Bromeliads and trees have this type of relationship. Bromeliads grows on high branches of trees to get enough light. It does not harm the tree nor itself. Another type is parasitism. The strangler fig and tree have this type of relationship. The strangler fig will start growing on a branch of tree and slowly kill it by stealing sunlight and root space. Plants have to make adaptations to survive in the rainforest biome. For example, lianas. It climbs woody vines that drape rainforest trees. They have adapted to life in the rainforest by having their roots in the ground and climbing high into the tree canopy to reach available sunlight. Barks in rainforests have evolved to be thin and smooth. In comparison to temperate deciduous forests, thick bark help to limit moisture evaporation. The leaves of forest trees have adapted to cope with exceptionally high rainfall. Most rainforest leaves have a drip tip. Plants need to shed water to avoid growth of fungus and bacteria in the warm and wet tropical weather. There are also adaptations that animals have to make to live in this biome. For example, camouflage, the ability to blend in with surrounding environments to avoid detection. Many camouflage rainforest animals such as walking sticks, insects which look just like a tree branch, and the slow-moving green algae cover sloths that hang from trees and blending with their environment. Animals use camouflage to avoid predators. Many animals in the tropical rainforests of the world have adapted to either a nighttime or a daytime mode of life in order to survive as well. Human activities greatly impacted the environment. For example, deforestation. Human activities and development in the rainforest has led to depletion of habitat for many of the Earth's species. Environmentalists estimate that we are losing 137 plant, animal, and insect species every day due to rainforest deforestation. This continual process is due to industrial of mining, lumber, and agriculture. The economic developments in these areas are polluting tropical rainforests, reducing the habitat of numerous species, and producing loud and disturbing noises from machinery. Another example of human impact is overexploitation. Approximately 80% of the rainforest nutrients come from trees and plants. That leaves 20% of the nutrients in the soil. When trees are overexploited, conditions change very quickly. The soil dries up and causes erosion. However, there are many conservation efforts being made. Rainforest Alliance is a non-profit organization that works to guide land-intensive industries to sustainability. They work to couple profit with functioning ecosystems. They work to educate people of all ages about the importance of conserving the ecosystem. The World Wildlife Foundation, or WWF, has a central goal of protecting diversity in tropical rainforests. Therefore, they have projects in place to stop deforestation and conserve the wildlife. There are many endangered species from the rainforest biome, one of them being Sumatran orangutan. They are omnivores. Orangutan primarily eat fruits, along with young leaves, bark, flowers, honey, insects, vines, and the inner shoots of plants. One of their preferred food is the fruit of durian tree, which has a very strong smell and tastes somewhat like sweet, cheesy garlic custard. Orangutan population density has shown to correlate positively with the level of fruit availability. Orangutan grows to be size around 4 to 5 feet in height, with females generally being smaller than males. They weigh between 100 to 200 pounds. They reproduce very, very slowly. They reproduce about every 15 years. They have become critically endangered since 2008. The number remaining of this species is 14,613. There are many threats to this species. Two of the major ones are habitat loss and fragmentation. However, there are many recovery efforts being made. The Leisure ecosystem is a national park with an area of 26,000 square feet, mostly forests that support 90.2% of this species remaining in the wild. Monitoring and planning, water protection and management in place species management. There are also laws that protect this species. Pongo abeli is strictly protected by Indonesian national law on the conservation of natural resources and ecosystem, under which it is illegal to capture, injure, kill, own, keep, support, or trade orangutans. They are also protected by international legislation.